7, The Reunion. This episode of Korra has so much going on. We start off with another reunion this episode of Korra going back to the Republic City. I know this seems out of place, but the main thing I noticed was Tenzin's clothing. I was under the assumption only the younger generation of airbenders were wearing the new airbender suits, but now seeing Tenzin wearing it strikes a new era for the Air Nation. Personally, in the past seasons of The Legend of Korra, seeing the airbenders in their robes seemed out of place to me with the time era Korra is taking place in. But this also reestablishes airbending as something more modern but keeping true to their ideology. Moving forward, we see two storylines continuing: Bolin and Varric's in chorus. Bolin and Varric are continuing their tension from escaping from Kuvira, and Varric, of course, is seemingly heartbroken, if I may, over Zhu Li. I actually find it admirable that Varric is stepping up to the plate and owning up to what he invented. The bomb he invented is something very destructive, and in Kavira's hands will prove to be problematic. This bomb is something I assume that could be relatable to the nuclear bomb or atom bomb of some sorts. They're on their way to Republic City and are suddenly captured. I really like the seriousness of this season and how relatable the characters are. The refugees, if I say, are mad at what Kavir did to them, and rightfully so. The vibe I got from the re-education camps are close to the ones that occurred during World War II or even Cambodia around 1975, with persecutions of people not meeting Kavira's ideal of an Earth Empire citizens. But now, don't hate me for this, but I feel this gets a different perspective, and it's something that I got off of it. I'm not quite sure what anyone else got off from this episode, but let me explain. Now, we know Hitler was a terrible person for his actions, including the concentration camps. But just because Hitler did it, it doesn't mean everyone who worked for him could have been a bad person. Kuvira is recruiting bandits to join her, or like we saw earlier, either join her or have the lovely option of being crushed by a train. Now, I doubt every one of her subordinates know what is taking place in the re-education camps. Just the fact that person is in trouble. I feel like this is trying to connect to, let's say, Hitler. Not all his subordinates knew the horrors of what was going on in the camps. Not everyone was a terrible person. Proving that good people do exist in what may seem like a ruthless dictatorship. And those with pure intentions will do the right thing. Like Bolin, he's helping with other benders escape from the Earth Empire. And the wall, I feel like, is allusion to like the Great Wall of China. I'm just putting it out there. While we see two story arcs play out, I feel like very soon we will meet up with Korra. It's like both of them are trying to inch their way to each other, Korra and Bolin and Varric. Now, Korra just returned to Republic City with her happiness to be back. But not all is what it seems. Secrets come out with her mailing Asami and not Mako, fights, and then suddenly we're thrown into this battle of words and a bratty prince. But I personally enjoy this scene in a sense. We are given an awkward reunion after a 3-year waiting period. I know this sounds harsh, but from my experience from being ill for a very long time, the world does not wait. Korra has been stuck in her frozen time, if I may say, of like despair and such, and only she's recently like discovering that, hey, I'm not alone in this. But however, the world continues on with or without you. And with time comes change to many things that were once familiar to us. It is strange, it is unfair, and most of all, it is new ground Korra hasn't faced before. Like, Korra would often write to Sami, but being around people again is strange and new, I feel, for Korra. Which is understandable. She was gone with little human interaction for 3 years, but it is a learning experience too, which Korra realizes. She will get annoyed and frustrated with her friends. Is this terrible or bad? No. It's human, and it's very relatable to understand that she's not used to feeling this way. And I love the fast action pace and the fighting scenes in this episode. The action pack with the car chase, jumping onto a car, and hell, or even a good old fashioned fighting on a moving train scene. Moving on, Korra's new skills show maturity, I feel. That's something she learned from Toph. Asami, we still go back to season 1 where she was shown with amazing fighting skills. Not amazing, but pretty good fighting skills for a non-bender. And she still has that glove that could like shock somebody, which is very useful. I feel like it's relating back to season 1. And also Mako's failure. He wasn't doing his job, resulting in Wu being captured. Now, I understand Wu is annoying. Wu can be bratty, he can get onto Mako's nerves, but I'm sure all of us will eventually get a job we don't like. Even if it is for a very annoying person or someone we hate or dislike or whatever, but we have to be on top of our game no matter what. And Mako learned this the hard way with Wu being kidnapped and Wu getting into a reality check to get his act together. Being kidnapped, Wu realized, hey, a lot of people don't like me, and that's terrifying. I should get my act together. But I really loved the end of the episode when Wu was going to stay with Mako's grandmother, and Asami, I'm seeing that she is a very kind person for sheltering Mako's entire family at her house. Now, I hope with the grandmother taking care of Wu, that Wu will learn to appreciate his people and eventually be a leader who wants to help his people. I feel that, like, since the grandmother loves royalty, she will, I will admit, spoil Wu, but in a sense where Wu will want to help her too, want to help his people, and I hope this will help him mature to realize that, hey, there are people that do like you for genuinely who you are. Now, Kavira, she's basically chopping spirit vines in the swamp. Basic as it could get. I really hope to see some toss soon to give Kavira a good thrashing for destroying the environment. But I love Kavira in a way. She reminds me of Azula with her cold, stoic determination. She is smart. She is a great fighter. And she knows how to get followers because she is an amazing speaker, I believe. And she uses hope to drive people of wanting to reunite the Earth Empire while not using fear, like Azula mainly dominated people on fear alone. Don't get me wrong, Kavira, she uses fear. Like, if you don't agree to her standards, you'll be sent to a re-education camp. But it's not just all fear, like Azula. And also, I noticed, like, during war and revolutions, I'm starting to notice, there tends to be an advance in technology. Take, for instance, in Avatar The Last Airbender, like whenever the Fire Nation found this war balloon ships, they made them bigger and they used them for the invasion, ultimately making it harder to beat them. And also, Sokka, he made the designs for submarines. I'm starting to notice that with war there comes a great advancement in technology. And now Kavira is capitalizing on the energy, sarcasm there, which can be used in the form of bombs, making the Earth Pyre with the most powerful weapon. Like, this is actually pretty serious because if they manage to recreate the bomb, and knowing Kavira, she will recreate it. That the Earth Empire suddenly they have the biggest threat from what we've seen of technology. I understand we have the battle suits, but like Varric also proved is that you can stall those suits. Like he got a metal pipe or whatever connected to some things, but he managed to stall those machines. So those things can be brought down. The gloves that Asami has, they are very useful in hand-to-hand combat, but they aren't really useful on a wider scale. But this bomb type of thing that Kavira has, from what we've seen, it's the most deadly thing. The only thing I can think to rival it is maybe Zuko's dragon closely. But I really can't wait till the next episode. I hope to see maybe some Toph fighting there. Wu learning that he needs to get a reality check, and if he doesn't want to be killed, he needs to get his life together. He needs to learn that I need to rule the people with responsibility. I can't be a whiny brat no more. I don't know. It's just really, really excited for the next episode. I'm really hoping to see a lot of advancement within the characters. Well, thank you so much for listening. This is Victorian Reviewer here, and as always, you could go on victorianreviewer.weebly.com and to get a more detailed description of what I wrote. Thank you so much for listening. Please comment. Let me know what you think, because I'm always open to suggestions.